हेलो एंड वेलकम टू टॉकिंग टेक्स्ट बुक्स लीविंग नो चाइल्ड बिहाइंड। कैसे हो आप सब? आई होप यू ऑल आर डूइंग गुड, right? So I am Aditi and I'm talking from Talking Textbooks, right? On the right side you can see our awesome team who's giving you quality level education. So like we are working really hard so that we can provide you quality level education at a very affordable prices. And of course you know that video lectures that we'll be giving of 6 to 8 NCERT, as well as like video lectures that we'll be providing you with would cover NCERT of 6 to 8 as well as Olympiads, then NTSE, NSEJS and PRMO, then 6 to 10 school level examinations. All that would be covered in our video lectures. Moving on to our plans and packages that you can see on www.talkingtextbooks.in. You need to go there and visit it and see. You can see the plans and packages there. So highest package is for 9,000 for 6 to 8, which will again be reduced to 6,300 if you use my code AVLIVE, which you can see here. If you use my code AVLIVE, then there would be 30% discount, and the package price would sum up to 6,300. In that you're going to get the study material, you will get the test series, you will get daily quizzes, then there will be result of that test series. Homework submission would be there on Google Classroom, and like you will be getting the lectures as well. So all this is just 6,300. And even like if you're going to some or the other coaching and you do not require the study material, and if you just want to test your knowledge, or that where you where is your position, so you can you can directly go to the test series package. You can have that package, the test series package, and it is really affordable. You can see that. So what you have to do is you have to share this channel to as many students as you can, because there are many students who cannot afford high pricing, right, of quality education, and we are doing that. We are trying to provide that to as many students as we can. And see, we are providing it on the YouTube, but then you have to share it. You will have to help us to share it to many more students, and so that they can get the benefit out of it, right? On the right side you can see the payment modes. You can pay through any of it, and once we receive the payment, there will be a call from our side, from our team, and they'll let you know about the plans and about the mode that you will be getting your material through, and in how many days. They let you know everything. But still, if you have any queries, then you can call on this number, which is 9549041111. It is written down here. So you can call on this number, and you can ask whatever queries you have, whatever doubts you have. You can get them answered here, right? This was about the plans and packages about our website. These are our Telegram channels. You can you can join into your relevant class. If you are in 9th standard, then you can go to TTB 009. You can join there. And if you are in 8th standard, then TTB 08. Search that on Telegram. It is similar to a WhatsApp app. So search that and join the group, and whatever video lecture that is going on, in the current lecture that is going on, you will get the DPPs of that there, right children? So this was it about us, and moving on, today's lecture is lecture 4 for number theory. Before that, as our customs, we are going to take the promise. So take that, and then we'll start with the chapter. So we studied all this. We did few questions regarding the factors and multiples. Today also we'll be doing certain questions. आज भी हम कुछ questions करेंगे. So let's do those questions. So the question says number n is equals to 2 to the power 6 into 5 to the power 5 into 7 to the power 6 into 10 to the power 7. How many factors of n are even numbers? How many factors of n are even numbers? So to calculate calculate that, you remember I told you a formula. Now what is that? See, first of all, what we are going to do, we are going to write this in the prime factorization form. So prime factorization of n is what? 2 to the power 6 into 5 to the power 5 into 7 to the power 6 into, now this 10 to the power 7 could be written as 2 into 5, 2 to the power 7 into 5 to the power 7. Now since here bases are same, I'm gonna add the powers. Here also bases are same, so I'm gonna add the powers here as well. So what it is going to be, it will become like this: 2 to the power 6 plus 7. 2 to the power 6 plus 7 is 13 multiplied by 5 to the power 5 plus 7, that is 12 multiplied by 7 to the power 6, which is as it is. Now if I want to calculate the number of even factors, then how can I calculate that? Number of even factors would be given by, see, we knew that to calculate even factors, what we'll do, we'll write the power of 13, multiply it with the power of odd prime factors and adding 1 to it. So how it will be? See, power of 5 plus 1, then power of 7 plus 1, and I'll just add it. That becomes what? 13 into 7. So 13 square is 169 multiplied by 7 is 9 7s is 63, 7 6 are 42 and 6 48, and 7 and 4 11. So there will be 1183 even factors of this number. Right children? Clear? Shall we do next question now? Shall we do next question? Next question says something like this. What does it say? The question says numbers A, B, C and D have 16, 28, 30 and 27 factors. Which of these could be a perfect cube? Could be a perfect cube. Right? Let's find out. What does it say? Numbers A, B, C and D have 16, 28, 30 and 27 factors. Right? Means A has 16 factors, B has 28 factors, C has 30 factors and D has 27 factors. So which of these could be a perfect cube? Now I need to calculate the perfect cube. So how will I do that? See, a number can be written in the form of, like, if I want to write the prime factors. If I want to write the prime factors of a number, how will it be written? It will be written like this: P to the power A, Q to the power B, R to the power C, right, and so on. Right? So number of factors would be A plus 1 multiplied by B plus 1 multiplied by C plus 1 and so on. And P, Q and R are what? Prime factors. They are prime numbers basically. P, Q and R are prime numbers. So now let's assume. See, understand this. First understand this, that for a number to be perfect cube, this A, B and C should be multiple of 3. Right? Either it should be P to the power cube or P to the power 6 or P to the power 12 or something like that, or q to the power 3 or 6 or 12 or r to the power 3, right? Like this it has to be like, see, a b c should be either 3 or multiple of 3 so that it can be a perfect cube. So for a number to be perfect cube, a b and c should be multiple of 3, should be multiple of 3. Then let's assume a equals to 3m, b equals to 3n, and c equals to 3 let's say x. Okay, let's say this. Now number of factors would be what? 3m plus 1, 3n plus 1 and 3x plus 1. Correct? So if we see here, see, if we divide it by 3, if we divide this factor and this factor and this factor by 3, then it'll give us a remainder of 1. See, if I divide 3m plus 1 by 3, it will give us remainder as 1. It gives us 1 remainder. Again, if I divide this number, see, if I divide this number by 3, this will also give us, if I divide it by 3, then this also gives us 1 as remainder. If I divide this also by 3, this also gives us 1 as remainder. So I can say that the product of 3 numbers should also leave a remainder of 1. So I can say that if I am multiplying this, this will also give us, see, if I multiply this, if I am multiplying number of factors would be 3m plus 1, 3n plus 1, 3x plus 1. So it's multiplication. Like if I divide it by 3, it will also give us remainder as 1. Let me take an example. Let's say I took 3. 3 plus 1 is, let's say, 4. Then 3 2s are 6. 6 plus 1 and 3 3s are 9. 9 plus 1. So what does this give us? 4 into 7 into this is 10, right? So this gives us 70 into 4. That is right. So let's divide it by 3. 3 9s are 27. 1 and 0. 3 3s are 9. So this is giving us remainder as 1. This is giving us remainder as 1. I just assumed m to be 1, n to be 2 and x to be 3. Right? I just assumed it. So by assuming that, I came to the conclusion that there is a remainder 1. If I divide this, then also remainder is 1. Then in this also remainder is 1 and in this also remainder is 1. So if I multiply them and then divide it by 3, then also I am getting 1 as my 1 as my remainder. So now what can I say from that? What can I say from this now? Let's see. What can I say from this? That, see, now let's look at the question again now. So what does it say? 16, 28, 30 and 27. So if I divide these numbers, then this should also leave a remainder as 1, right? See, what did we do? We calculated for a number to be perfect cube, ABC should be multiple of 3. We took it as multiple of 3. Then number of factors we took out. Then number of factors, if we divide it by 3, then it should leave remainder as 1. So let us calculate. See, these are those factors only, number of factors only, 16, 28, 30 and 27. So which number here is leaving remainder 1? If I divide 30 by 3, it is completely divisible. If I divide 27 by 3, again it is completely divisible. If I divide 16 by 3 and 28 by 3, then it does leave remainder as 3. So what can I say here? See, 16 divided by 3 will give me what? 15 plus 1, 28 also. If I divide by 3, this will give me 9s are 27 plus 1, right? Sorry, 3 5s are 15. It will be 5s are 15. Right. So if I want to divide this, what will I get? 1 as remainder. And here also 1 as remainder. So 16 and 28 are which numbers? 16 and 28 are A and B. So which of these could be a perfect cube? A and B are the numbers which could be perfect cube. So I can say A and B are numbers which could be perfect cubes. Clear? Let's do another question which has come earlier in the examination. So the question is something like this. Question says the number of 3-digit number which contains 6 and 7 is. Which contains 6 and 7 is. The number of 7-digit numbers, the number of 3-digit numbers which contains 6 and 7 is. Options are 52, 60, 62 and 64. So the solution is, see, let's see the number of 3-digit numbers which contains 6 and 7 is. So let's talk about one, like starting from 176. It should contain 6 and 7 both, right? It should contain 6 and 7 both. So such numbers could be 176, then 276, then 376, up till 976. So how many numbers this would be? This would be 7 numbers. 176, 276, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Right? So in total these would be 7 numbers. Why it will be 7 numbers, I am going to tell you. Because in the later thing we are going to there will be numbers which would be repeated, right? So that is why I am taking 7 and not 9, right? Moving on, 167, 267, 367 and so on up till 967. So this also becomes 7 numbers, right? This also becomes 7 numbers. Why? I am going to tell you later on. Then this is 706, 706, then 716, then up till 796, right? 706, 716, 726, and so on up till 796. In total there will be 9 numbers. In total there will be 9 numbers. Then 760, 761 up till 769. So in total there will be 10 numbers. There will be 10 numbers. 761. So here right. Next 761, 769 up till 769 there are 10 numbers. Then 607, 617, 627 up till 697. How many numbers would be there? 9 numbers. And then last 670, 671, 672 and so on 679. This also contains 10 numbers. Right, this also contains 7 numbers. So 676. Here I'll have 676. 676 would be there, which I took it here. So that is why I calculated this as 10 and I did not calculate it here. Right, so this is the thing. Let's add these numbers. How much does this give us? 10, 9, 10, then 9 again, 7 and 7. This gives us, sums up to 52. This sums up to 52, which is option number A. This is option number A. This question has come earlier in the examination. Let's calculate second number. Let's calculate second, let's do second question. This has also come earlier in the examination. N is a natural number. N is a natural number. The square root of the sum of the square root of the sum of the square of n and 19 is equal to the next natural number is equal to the next natural number to n. The value of n is now let's do this question. What does it say? N is a natural number. Okay, n is a natural number. The square root of the sum of the square of n. So square of n and 19 is equal to the next natural number to n. Next natural number to n is obviously n plus 1. It is obviously n plus 1. Now like squaring both the sides, of course we'll square both the sides. So what will it give us? N square plus 19, and this would be n plus 1 whole square. So this becomes what? N square plus 19 equals to n square plus 2n plus 1. Simple. Now n square cancel. This becomes what? This 1 would go this side and this becomes 18 equals to 2n. So n equals to 9. N equals to 9. The value of n is 9. Clear? Clear, children? Let's talk about LCM and HCF now. Let's talk about LCM and HCF. So what is LCM and what is HCF? multiple. So what does that mean? It means if two numbers are given to us, if two numbers are given to us, are given, then the lowest multiple, then the lowest multiple of both, then the lowest multiple of both the numbers gives the LCM, gives the LCM. So what is that? What is that? See, if I write say, let's take an example, 12, 16 and 18, right? Let's take out the LCM of this. So prime factors of 12 is 2 to the power 2 into 3, of 16 is 2 to the power 4, and of 18 is, right? So now LCM, their LCM, lowest common multiple would be, let me give you an example through this. See, if I wrote 2, 3 and 5, let's say I took these numbers. Now let's write the multiple of it. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 12 and 12, instead of 5, let's write 6, right? Because then it is going to go very far. Then 12 and 14 and so on. 3 is 9, 12, 15, 18 and so on. 6, 18, 24 and so on. So now I can see that 2, 3, 6 not common, 4 is not common, 6 is common in just 2 and 6 and not in 3. So which is the smallest number which is common in all these three? It is 12, 12 and 12 here, right? So how do I calculate the LCM of it now? How will I calculate the LCM of it? So LCM of 12, 16 and 18 becomes what? See, highest power of 2 and this is 2 to the power 4, and highest power of 3 here is 3 to the power 2. So my LCM would be 16 into 9, which is what? 54 and 144, right? Clear, children? This could also be written like this, of 12, 144, correct, right? So this becomes the LCM. Let's talk about HCF now. It is also known as highest common factor or GCD, which is greatest common divisor. Greatest common divisor. Let me take an example of let's say 42, 72 and 18, right? Let's do that. So let's write the prime factorization of it. Prime factors of 18 is 2 into 3 square. 42 is and 72 is, this becomes this into 9 is a 72, right? So now let us calculate that. See, 2 is in all these 3 is also there. So like lowest divisor is what? means like we are supposed to calculate the highest divisor. See, if I divide this 18 by 2 to the power 3, can I divide 18 by 8? I cannot, but I can divide it by 2. So my HCF would become what? It will be 2 and multiplied by. Can I divide 42 by 9? Can I divide it? No, I cannot. So it will be 3. So I can divide 6. Like 6 becomes the HCF of 18, 42 and 72. It becomes the HCF of this, right? So why? Because 18 is divisible by 6, 42 also and 72 also. So that becomes the highest common factor or GCD of 18, 42 and 72. This is the basic logic of it. This is its basic logic, right? Now let me tell you few more examples. Let me tell you few more things here, few more important things. See, if I want to calculate HCF of fractions, HCF and LCM of fractions, what will that be? Let's say A by B, C by D and E by F are given to us. These are the 3 fractions given to us. So HCF of A by B, C by D and E by F would be what? HCF of numerator. It will be HCF of numerator upon LCM of denominator. So what does this become? What does this become? HCF of A, C, E and LCM of B, D and F. Clear? Clear, children? Now if I want to calculate LCM of the same, if I want to calculate the LCM for same, LCM of A by B, C by D and E by F, then LCM of numerator, LCM of numerator upon HCF of denominator. Just a second. Which is what? LCM ACE and HCF and HCF BDF, right? So this you need to learn. This you need to learn. This is the formula which we are supposed to, right? We should remember this. This we should be knowing. Again, this also we should be knowing. Just a second. And one more important thing, if A and B are two numbers, then A into B is equals to HCF of A comma B into LCM of A comma B of A comma B, right? This is the basic thing which I guess we all know. So we should all remember this. Now some important properties are like, so basically these are the important properties. One important thing is HCF. HCF is the factor. HCF is the factor of HCF of two numbers. Let me write it like this. HCF of a number, HCF of two factors, HCF of two factors HCF of two numbers, HCF of two numbers is a factor. HCF of two numbers is a factor of their LCM. HCF of two numbers is a factor of their LCM, right? So HCF is factor of its LCM, right? HCF is a factor of its LCM. Let me give an example. Let's say, let's take two 6 and 12. 6 and 12 are two numbers, right? Their HCF would be definitely 12, right? The HCF would be definitely 12, and their LCM would be, their HCF would be 6. Their HCF would be 6 and their LCM would be 12, right? Now understand, see, 6 is factor of LCM, HCF is factor of LCM. So this is, I have proved my point that HCF of two numbers is a factor of their LCM. Right, children? Let me give you a question. Let me give you a question. So this has also come earlier. So the question says, the sum of 8 positive integers. The sum of 8 positive integers. The sum of 8 positive integers is 22, and their LCM is 9. The number of integers among these that are less than 4 is, see, the sum of 8 positive integers is 22 and their LCM is 9. The number of integers among these that are less than 4 is. So let's understand this first. See, LCM is 9. If LCM is 9, then what does it tell us? What does it tell us? If LCM is 9, then the numbers will be 1, 3 or 9, right? And there are 8 numbers. So LCM of that is 9. Since it is given 9, so it cannot be other than 1, 3 or 9, right? It cannot be other than 1, 3 or 9. So if we take, now it is saying the sum is 22. The sum is 22. Now addition of these 8 integers is 22. So if I take 9 plus 9, then that gives us 18, right? So this cannot be, 9 plus 9 cannot be there, means there cannot be 2 9s. So there has to be only 1 9. There has to be only 1 9, and rest should be 1 and 3, right? So if I write it like this, 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1, so 4 times 1, and rest what is remaining, 9 can be only 1, 9, 10, 11, 12 and 13. So there could be 3 3s. 3 plus 3 plus 3 and plus 9, right? So this gives us 22. This gives us the sum of 22.
टीचर्स बोल रहे हैं जो आप एक्सेल जो जिसका सोल्यूशन आ रहा है तो आज सोल्यूशन आ रहा है तो हम 4 नंबर्स का चैप्टर 1 भेज रहे हैं उनकी सोल्यूशन नहीं है तो हम कर सकते हैं सोल्यूशन कर लिया
So this is 22. This is 22, right? Numbers less than 4 is number of integers among these that are less than 4 is 7, right? How much can I calculate? See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. 8 natural, sum of 8 numbers are these, right? So what is it asking? The number of integers among these that are less than 4 is. How many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. So in total there are 7 numbers. Just a second. So in total there are 7 numbers which are less than 4. From this 8, from this 8 integers, from this 8 positive integers, there are 7 integers. There are 7 integers which are less than, which are less than 4, right? These are 1 and 3 are obviously less than 4, so there are 7 integers and only 1 is greater than 4, which is 9. Clear? Clear, children? Let's do one more question. Let us do one more question. So the question says, four logs of woods of length 5 1/4 meter, 1 13/15 meter, 3 1/2 meter and 4 9/10 meter are cut, right? They are cut into small pieces, all of which have equal length, all of which have equal length, right? Each piece of wood is as lengthy, each piece of wood is as lengthy as possible. That means if it is saying as lengthy as possible, that means we are supposed to calculate what? HCF, highest common factor. Since it is saying they are of equal length and each piece of wood is as lengthy as possible, that means we need to calculate the HCF. We are supposed to calculate the HCF. This shows this because it is asking that. Then each cut pieces okay, each cut piece is given to a set of two carpenters, right? Each cut piece means one single log is given to between two carpenters to work. So how many carpenters are there in all? What is it asking? How many carpenters are there in all? Options are given as 148, 210, then 332 and 266, right? So let's do that. Obviously, as it said that 4 logs of woods of length this is given to me, and see, each of them are equal. Different logs of wood are given to me, and then they are cut into pieces which are of equal length, and each piece of wood is as lengthy as possible. Since it said as lengthy as possible means highest common factor I am supposed to calculate. So I will be calculating highest common factor of these mixed fractions. So first I'll convert them into what? Into improper fraction, which is 21 by 4. This is what? This is 15. This is 28 by 15. 28 by 15. What is this? This is 6 and 7 by 2. And this is what? 49 by 10. 49 by 10. Clear? Now I'll take the HCF of these. So HCF of 21 by 4, 28 by 15, 7 by 2 and 49 by 10. I am supposed to calculate the HCF of this, which is going to be what? I just told that formula for HCF would be HCF of numerator 21, 28, 7 and 49, and which is supposed to be what? 7. Highest common factor is 7 because it is divisible. 7 is divisible by all, and LCM of 4, 15, 2 and 10 is going to be what? See, HCF of this is going to be 7, of course, and LCM would be what? 2 2s are 4 and 2 2s are 4 and 2 5s are 10. So there's going to be one more. So 4 and 5, 20 and 360. So this is going to be 60. Right? So HCF of this is going to be 7 by 60. Now I want to calculate number of pieces. Now I want to calculate total number of pieces. How can I calculate total number of pieces? Total number of pieces. Total number of pieces, how can I calculate? See, there is 21 by 4, the length of log is 21 by 4 meter, and the length of one log is 7 by 60. So how much can I have? How many can I have of this length? So 21 by 4 is total. From that I will divide 7 by 60, which is length of 1. This is the total length. This is length of 1. So I will get what? Number of logs. Then this is 28 by 15 is total length. Then length of 1 is 7 by 60. So I will know the number of logs here. Then it is 7 by 2 upon 7 by 2 is the total length upon 7 by 60, which is length of 1, multiplied by 49 by 10, which is the total length of the fourth log, upon divided by the length of one log, divided by the length of one log, length of one log. Now why have I multiplied these is because I will get the number of logs here, then number of logs here, number of logs here, number of logs here. So like I am not multiplying them, sorry, I'll add them. It would be added. So I'll add these number of logs of this size, of this size, of this length and of this length. Right? So what would this become? I'll continue it here. What would that become? Basically I'll be adding this 21 upon 4 into 60 upon 7 because it will get reciprocal. See, it will get reciprocal here. You can see it here. 60 upon 7. Then next plus 28 upon 15 into 60 upon 7 plus 7 upon 2 into 60 upon 7 plus 49 upon 10 into 60 upon 7. Clear? Now we'll add these. We'll simply add this, and what do we get? This is 7 3s are 21, 15 4s are 60. This gives 7 and 7 cancel. This is 7 times. This gives us 4 2s are 4 1s are 4, 5s are 20, 7 4s are 28, 2 3s are 6 and 0. So now this sums up to 45 plus 16 plus 13. 45 plus 16 plus 30 plus 7 6 are 42. So this gives me what? This gives me the total to be 133. This gives me the total to be 133. Now these are number of logs. Remember, just a second children. Sorry. This is number of pieces. Now remember, each piece is given to 2 carpenter. Right? Means one piece is given to 2 carpenter. It is asking number of carpenters. So I will do what? Number of carpenters would be? Number of carpenters would be? Number of carpenters is 133. Number of logs multiplied by 2, because 1 log is given to 2. So 3 2s are 6, 6 and 2. 266. Do we have an option here? 266 is an option. And 3 2s are 6, 3 2s are 6 and 2. So yes, this is the final answer. Right? Clear children? So I hope HCF is clear to you. We'll do few more questions in the next class, and we'll discuss about divisibility and cyclicity and the remaining topics in the next lecture. So I hope you like the video. Thank you so much for watching. Keep liking, keep subscribing and keep sharing. Remember to hit the bell icon so that you remain notified for all our upcoming awesome videos. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.